Hey guys, so the smart connector is opening up a whole new world of accessories that will no longer rely on its own power source and Bluetooth connection. Not having to worry about charging, turning it on, or making sure it's connected, the Apple Smart keyboard cover for the 9.7 iPad Pro lives up to its name. You connect it and start typing. Let's check it out.
The Smart Keyboard is made of a silicone exterior with a microfiber interior, basically the exact same build as the Apple silicone case. The keyboard itself is covered in a custom woven fabric that's basically made of unicorns and created with dragon breath because all the keys are sealed, making the keyboard spill and stain proof, which means cleanup is just a damp cloth away. To install, there's really only exactly one way it attaches, on the left side of the iPad, and thanks to the Smart Connector, it requires no batteries, power switches, or weak-ass Bluetooth connections. Just put them near each other and the magnets auto-magically align themselves and keep the two connected. Thankfully, being a cover, it also comes with auto on-off magnets for the iPad. Note that the magnets really just keep the keyboard in the right position. It doesn't do much to hold everything together though. When closed, it doubles the iPad's size at its thickest point, but it's still the lightest keyboard you'll find currently available. With it on, it doesn't bog down the slim design of the iPad. I really barely noticed the weight difference. To set up the keyboard, you'll need to unravel the whole cover to reveal the keyboard itself and the magnetic mounting strip where the iPad will sit. Lift the iPad up and the cover should fold into a triangle, providing the support for the iPad to stand upright. Fortunately, the dock magnets are the clingy type, so they'll hold on even when you don't want it to. And because triangles are strong as shit, it never gave up in a tap test. Oh, and the keys aren't backlit, which I'm okay with because I bought this $1,000 Apple nightlight that illuminates the keys just as well. The keys are tightly wrapped in this custom fabric, which is what gives the keys its springy feedback. There are even air vents at the top of the keyboard which release air when a key is pressed because the whole keyboard is sealed off. And typing on the keyboard feels like a standard desktop one, providing clicky feedback and well-spaced keys. There's a full keyboard layout, arrow keys, modifier keys such as Command and Option, Shift, Caps Lock, and Enter keys, but some keys are a little cramped such as the Caps Lock, Tab, and Backspace key. And you and the rest of the world may have noticed the lack of shortcut keys, but I'm glad they did that, as adding one would have had to sacrifice spacing on the keys. To make up for it, iOS actually has a lot of shortcut features built in that make shortcut rows redundant. Apple and third-party apps are able to implement shortcut rows. The benefit of software shortcuts is that they are customized to each app. The only physical shortcut key is the keyboard switcher on the bottom left corner, because there's no other way to access it on the screen, therefore a necessity to function. iOS also now allows for even more common controls you'd usually find on a desktop. These are custom to each app and can be found by holding down the command key in any app. It even works on the home screen. And you want to change your brightness on the fly? Did we all forget about Control Center? Also right at the bottom where a shortcut row would have been. Remember, the keyboard is complementary to the iPad, not a replicate of the iPad. It's also basically a smart cover with the keyboard built in, which means it can also do this. You can view and browse content without a keyboard in your way. And it holds its ground pretty well in a poke test. You can also set it down at a lower angle for touch typing if that's your thing. It's also a great angle for sketching some Picassos. Or if you don't want arthritis, you can set it flat and make some Michelangelos with ease. But switching between each position is really just a flip or two away. It's like origami for nerds. Oh, and one-handed use is also possible if you like to use your iPad like an iPhone, since it folds flat behind the iPad and doesn't weigh much. But don't be that guy. It's just as easy to remove and use your iPad like an iPad. Now, I wouldn't count on this for its ability to protect your iPad, but the cover will provide scratch protection for your screen. The back is completely left open. You may want to revisit the silicone case if you drop your shit a lot, because at most, it may only protect you if it falls like this. The cover helps with sliding around on a table, but is durable enough to withstand a beating due to its stiff structure. It also helps with keeping dust and dirt off your screen, although it's a bitch to clean off the silicone. But the silicone is water resistant and can deal with a spill or two. The one thing I hated was typing with this on my lap, which we'll call lapability. I felt like I had to keep my palm on the bottom of the keyboard as I typed to hold it down to prevent it from bouncing around. Not only did it put my hands in an uncomfortable position, it started to hurt after a while. You could put it further out to alleviate that pain, but then it's so close to the edge of your knees, the worry it'll fall backwards is even more painful. And you're stuck with just one angle, which works perfectly viewing on a table, but not so well in your lap. Just using the iPad was also risky business as the cover requires a flat surface to stay steady. But using it in its lower angle works great for touch typing and even better for drawing.
It retails for $150 US and $200 Canadian and only comes in the charcoal gray color. If you're looking to use the new 9.7 iPad Pro as a serious workhorse, the Apple Smart Keyboard is well worth every penny for its portability and just real keyboard feel. Otherwise, if those things don't matter to you, there are much cheaper options available, but come at a heftier cost. Heftier, because they're heavier than this one. Anyways, if you like my video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down, and do subscribe for future updates. I rest my iPad keyboard cover.